I talk to a lot of SMMA owners between the group coaching calls I do over at Easy Growth with Charlie Morgan, to my own personal one-on-one coaching, to the fact that I've had an agency for over 8 years. I've seen a lot of SMMAs come and go, and I've seen a lot of the reasons why they fail. And I guarantee you that this reason here is probably the main reason most fail. This is going to be a little bit of an Uncle Jimmy pep talk. I'm going to talk about my thoughts. I literally just got off a group coaching call, so it's fresh on my mind. And I really want to articulate what I was thinking at the time, and because I think it will help a lot of you guys. I've been running an agency now for a long time. And in that time, I've been through the ups and the downs, and I've eaten caviar like kings and queens, and I've eaten tuna like a pauper. I've been everywhere up and down the mountain. And in that time, I've seen a lot of agencies, like I was saying. Generally, the agencies that I see fail are the ones who have this mindset at the very start. And at the very start, they think that they can run an agency with a minimal amount of work for maximum returns. Now, as your agency develops and as your agency goes on, that's the mindset you need to have to scale. I now work an hour or two a day and I reap all the rewards. But I'm 8 years into my journey, and it only flipped about 6.5 years ago. If your mindset coming into running an agency at the very start, day one you run it, is that I want to create an agency that requires no work from me, and I'm just going to sit on a beach and drink margaritas while Go High Level takes all the workload off my plate, then you will fail. I guarantee you'll fail, because the consumers don't give a shit about whether you want to run an agency that requires no work or requires heaps of work. The consumers care about getting results. And at the start, when you don't have the processes and you don't have the scale and you don't have the information and you don't have the experience, you're going to have to replace that with something. And generally that is just hard work. At the start, when you're running your agency, when you start your agency, your mindset needs to be, I'm going to put in a huge amount of effort, reps, and energy, and I'm just going to bust my balls to get this thing off the ground. So you then can flick the switch over to make it a process-driven, product-driven, and scalable. The biggest mistake I see agencies do at the very start is they put all this effort, time, and energy into something like Go High Level, trying to completely automate the process, only to find out as soon as they get their first client, the clients don't give a shit about it. And a good example of this is agencies that start up Go High Level and try and take people from a landing page or a Facebook lead form and into a calendar appointment. So I had it the other day. Someone jumped on a group coaching call and they said, Jimmy, I'm not getting any leads. What's going on? And when we broke down his process, he was basically taking people from a Facebook ad to a lead form to a appointment booking page. But at no point in that process was he collecting their details. He was just sending them to their appointment booking page. And if they didn't book, they would just fly off into the air like the Lorax. And I said to the dude, I was like, okay, so why do you have this set up? I like to ask this question when I do group coaching or one-on-one coaching. It's like, why have you done it this way? And he goes, oh, it takes a lot of time and effort to call people and to organize appointments. So I want them to book an appointment so I don't have to do that. And I said to him, dude, no one gives a shit. Like, the customers don't give a shit whether you want them to book an appointment or not. They're going to do what they want to do. And in a lot of cases, that's not booking an appointment through an appointment booking system. That is going, oh, this is too hard. I'm just going to give it up and go back to scrolling on Facebook. So I had a good chat to this person and I said, okay, let's unpack why you feel this way. And then once we unpacked it, his perception of running an agency was like, oh, if I set up all this Go High automation, if I just set all this up, then the customers will come and they will just go through the funnel like a robot, like a process. And I said, dude, I've been doing this a long time and it just doesn't work like that. At the start, you need to be putting a disproportionate amount of effort, because at the very start of your agency, there's millions of agencies out there, or hundreds of thousands of agencies out there, all doing the same thing as you are. So if you're not out repping them, if you're not putting in the work and outworking them, or if you're not out hustling them, then you're going to get left behind. Now, it's different once you get some scale and you're like at the size I am, because the physical number of agencies that are doing over 100K a month is disproportionately small to the number of agencies that are doing, say, 10K a month. It's just maths. So I can get away with doing a little bit less because there's less competition in the market. On the higher end, when you've got a reputation and we've done a bit of work, you don't have that competition. So at the start, you need to outwork it, out hustle, and really push through that noise, push through all that competition by just doing a better job of it. And generally, the only way you can do a better job without resources is to just put in the reps and put in the work. There's another benefit to this, which significantly reduces the chance of failing as an SMMA, is that the more reps you put in at the start, the better you get at running an agency. And this is something I see a lot of as well, is there's a lot of agency owners that go, oh, I am just going to hire I'm going to start an agency. I'm going to get some clients and I'm just going to hire a media buyer and that's going to get the job done. That is the single worst idea that's ever been floated in the SMMA space. And I really dislike the people that pitch that as the idea. If you do that, if you just go, I'm going to completely step back from this. I don't need to learn how to media buy. I don't need to learn how Facebook ads work or Google ads work because I'll just hire someone to do that. Then you will get taken advantage of. You will get ripped off. And as soon as your client doesn't get results, that person's going to fly away like the Lorax and you're not going to have any leg to stand on because all the responsibility will land on you and not the media buyer. If you hire a media buyer without understanding how Facebook ads work from at least a cursory level, then you will get taken advantage of. You got to remember that these media buyers, they have several people that they work with. So a media buyer is not just working with you, they're working with Jimmy, they're working with John, they're working with Mavis, they're working with 7 or 8 people and they're running a business as well. So they're going to put the focus, energy, and attention on the people that make the most noise. So if they're working with 6 other people and those people know Facebook, then they're going to get the attention because their standard is higher. If you're sitting there going, I trust you, Mr. Media Buyer, you do what you need to do, then they go, oh, this one's going to be easy. I'll just put whatever in place. They're not going to know the difference. And they may not consciously think that, but subconsciously, that's exactly what they're doing. So you're opening yourself up to getting taken advantage of. And it's one of the easiest ways to actually ruin an agency is to have a client spend $1,000, $2,000 and get them no result and then not be able to explain where that money went. That is a really good way to kill your agency. That's probably a bigger way of killing your agency than just not putting in the reps. But if you peel it back, even that comes down to not wanting to put in the reps. It's like the gym. If you go into a gym and you go, I want to be big, I want to be muscly, I want to be ripped or whatever, and you're not willing to pick up a weight and actually do the reps that are required to do it, then it will never happen. The agency is the same way. When I started my agency, and if you talk to anyone that's run an agency for an extended period of time, we've all got the same story. Started an agency, I worked 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day for years. Then all of a sudden I became successful and I'm earning 100K a month. That's how it works. There's no shortcuts around that. Honestly, there is no shortcuts. You have to put in the reps. Putting the reps not only makes sure that you can keep your clients and make them happy and actually get them results. Putting the reps gets you in the right frame of mind to learn what you need to learn to run an actual proper business. And then you get to the point where you put in enough reps that you can start getting people to put in the reps for you. Then you can start to sit on a beach and do an hour a day or 2 hours a day. But ultimately, guys, if you're running an agency and it's failing at the moment, really look at yourself and be honest and pragmatic and go, am I putting in the reps? Am I actually doing the work? And if you're not doing the work, then you got yourself to blame. It's not the market. It's not other agencies. All it means is that there's other people in the space that are putting in more reps than you. They're getting better than you. They're surpassing you and they're gobbling up the market share. Put in the reps, guys. Really make sure that every hour of every day that you're working your agency, you're doing it properly. You're not trying to half bake it. You're not trying to avoid pain by hiring people. You're really getting into the trenches and you're really fighting the battle on the ground. Then eventually you'll become the general like I am and sit in a bunker 50 miles from the front, making the decisions for the troops on the ground. But trust me when I say, if I had the mindset of that I have now, when I first started, then I probably wouldn't have pushed through all the noise and gone into the big leagues where there's less people. So put in the reps, guys. That's all I'm asking you to do. If you do that, your chances of failing as an SMMA drop significantly. All right, guys. So I'm Uncle Jimmy. I'm available if you want to learn more about service delivery. Make sure to subscribe because this channel is just about running a good agency that is very rewarding, that can make you financially free. Make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more. I'm going to keep these videos like this, more raw and more info packed. But guys, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.